if you were to rank the difficulty of each final villain in Marvel Champions, how would you rank them? Right? So you have Ultron, you have Red Skull, you have Ronin, Loki, Venom Goblin, and Magneto. I think six is all of them. But how would you rank them? I want to talk a bit about that as far as difficulty goes, because this was one of the things that came up in the Marvel Champions subreddit. Magneto not as tough as people make out, which I kind of agree with the comment that they're making, but it kind of goes off the rails for me a little bit. Finally got around to finishing the Mutant Genesis, finishing off Mutant Genesis using Cyclops leadership, Wolverine aggression. I played each of the campaigns a few times, but I don't think Magneto is actually that difficult. It was a close game, but I beat him going in blind, which I kind of agree. Magneto to me is a more fair villain, right? He's not easy. Ever since they made the Hall of Heroes rule change with the counters and magnet counters and how you count them and whatnot, that has made things a bit easier or a bit better, I guess. But even without that, like Magneto always felt like a fair, difficult villain compared to like a Ronin, who never felt fair. He just felt like he was just beating on you silly. Of the final bosses, I probably rate them Ronin being the toughest, okay, followed by Red Skull. Really? Then Loki, okay. Then Venom Goblin and Magneto are probably on par. It took me 3 attempts to beat Loki, but Venom Goblin and Magneto were defeated first time. I'm yet to defeat Red Skull. I've played Ronin. I played Ronin twice. First time he beat one of my heroes in one turn, so I immediately gave up. And the second turn, I survived for 3 rounds. He's just too difficult, and it takes the fun out of it. Honorable mention for Ultron. He's no chump, but Hawkeye Alley makes it much easier, which I agree. I don't understand what's happening here. And I don't mean this as like an insult to this person. I really don't, because I get it. Everyone does their own thing. But I feel like there's been enough strategy and enough guides out there now about how to beat Red Skull that he shouldn't be that hard, right? Especially on solo. He should not be that hard. Even 2-player, he's not that difficult, right? When you just contain the side schemes, right? That's really what you have to do. And then when that what is it, the sleeper or whatever comes out, you just focus on that, and it's got a victory keyword. So once you take it out, it's done. And then that's it. Like really, that's kind of it for Red Skull. Now I get he's a little tougher on expert, but still it shouldn't be that much. I find it very surprising that this person beat Venom Goblin and considers it that easy, and maybe they defeated him the first time. I don't know, but I don't think I would ever put Venom Goblin on the same level as Magneto. That seems kind of weird. Loki was kind of tough though. I feel like Loki's been getting a bit easier for me, maybe because I'm just used to it now because I've played him so many times. Now he's still not easy by any means, but I feel like he's getting a bit easier. But yeah, I guess let me know your opinions, right? Let me know your opinions of what this of what your list is and what you think of theirs. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe Red Skull is more difficult than I realized, and Venom Goblin is easier than I realized. I'm not really sure. But I thought this was kind of an interesting question they brought up, and some people brought up some different stuff about Red Skull and whatever, and it was kind of interesting and kind of funny. So, and they had some strategy too. They had some decent stuff and whatnot. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts about that. So, next one I want to talk about is the Sinister Motives campaign. I'm playing through this right now, and I'm not sure if it's just me, but this campaign just isn't as fun as Rise of Red Skull was, in my opinion. Am I wrong? Tell me so. I feel like Rise of Red Skull is one of the better campaigns. That was a very basic campaign, and I think that's good for Marvel Champions. I feel like Sinister Motives is really when they kind of like switched a few things up. But you remember the public outcry cards? Like I just remember this being terrible and just a pain to do. The smear campaign was rough, right? Some of this stuff was kind of rough, and then your upgrades I felt like were very basic, right? They were set up permanent upgrades with an enhanced side and whatever. Like, it was fine, but if I remember, because I've only done this campaign like twice and it's been a while, like they were random which one you got. Like it wasn't just as fun, I guess. So I kind of get with the campaign. It's not as exciting. Red Skull, I do think was one of the better campaigns. I actually think the X-Men one wasn't too bad. I thought it was pretty interesting. And then past that, what else do you have? I think the Thanos one I really liked, the Thanos, whatever it was, the stone one. And then I feel like Ronin was pretty terrible. I feel like the Guardians campaign was pretty terrible as well, and just made everything exponentially harder and worse. So I guess I would agree that Red Skull's probably the best. I feel like X-Men is kind of after that. Maybe Thanos box, like right around there. And then maybe Sinister Motives. I have to go back and play all the campaigns. And maybe that's something we'll do on stream soon. Is just run through all the campaigns and see if we can beat them all on stream again. Because I kind of miss them, and I kind of want to go through it again and see how it goes. Plus, the X-Men have that cool thing where you can mix and match like your aspects and stuff like that by adding a different card and whatnot. I think that was a cool mechanic. But yeah, Sinister Modes, I just remember their campaign cards were a huge pain. So let me know your ranking, favorite to least favorite, or you could do hardest to easiest, whatever you want to do. Let me know down in the comments. So final one is where to after X-Men, right? And just spitballing here, the first 3 expansion boxes all had the Infinity Stones as part of their story. Which, like, yeah, I mean, the one was the Guardians box. It was not really an Avengers themed story, right? It was a Guardians theme, but okay, sure. Then we get a single Spider-Man box and a self-contained adventure, which is sad. I wish there was more Spider-Man boxes, but whatever. Now we are seemingly back to the 3-box story with X-Men. That's the rumor. We'll see if it's actually true. Where do we go after that? What's your predictions and theories? Now, way back when, if you have been a part of this channel for a long time, I've talked about how I wish they would have done a separate core box for X-Men and done a whole timeline with them, and then continue the Marvel Champions boxes on like kind of a separate name. The reason being is because X-Men, you can go on for like 4 or 5 boxes pretty easily. There's so many unique and cool stories. So while I'm excited for 3-box stories, it's at the same time I wish there was more. I wish there was a whole other timeline. Like it's kind of a weird thing for me. But after this, I think there's 2 routes. I think there's 2 routes that they can go. One is going with the Defenders box, right? You can go a solo box with Defenders, because I do remember a slight tie-in between like Wolverine and whatnot and the Defenders. I think you can make that a lot of the X-Men kind of cross over with them, and that gets you your Daredevils and all that. So hopefully Defenders would be the thing that they do and do like a solo box, and then I would assume Fantastic Four. Now I guess they would do 3 boxes of Fantastic Four. I mean, that's like the last big IP thing within Marvel that hasn't really been touched yet. I don't know how you do 3 boxes of Fantastic Four. I really don't. I'm sure and here's the thing, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, so I'm sure I'm missing out on things and I don't know everything about it. But it seems like a stretch to be able to do that much. And they have some cool villains. But as far as heroes go, I feel like it's lacking a bit, especially for 3 cycles worth. So I only see a box of that. After that, I still think they can do Civil War. I hope that they do. And then maybe they go back to older stuff. I'm not really sure. Some people talk about Marvel Knights and whatever, and how it's, the Defenders and whatever. I agree that that's probably coming up. People talk about Fantastic Four. Seems pretty obvious. I don't know. Maybe they just start doing some random things like after that. They talk about Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are probably, I would assume, be heroes at some point. Moon Knight seems to make sense. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they match the Defenders up with Fantastic Four. That could make sense. I've seen some people talk about Eternals. I don't know. Maybe I don't see Eternals being that big of a name brand for it, but we are getting near the end of like the big names, right? Obviously, there's still some more left that they could tap into, but I still feel like we're getting kind of near the end, right? So we'll see. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think is going to be going on after this one? Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, anyway, this is for this week's Reddit reply. Like I said, let me know villain, how tough each one is and whatnot. Let me know campaign rankings and what we're going to do after X-Men. It'd be kind of interesting. And if you think there's going to be 3 X-Men boxes or not. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all next week. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Hit the join button if you want to join the membership tier starting at 99 cents to help out this channel. See you all next time.